Welcome, Kelvin Dale here, revealing how the Irish had an impact on helping shape the United States. We go now to the life of an Irish-born gunfighter whose name never reached household fame, yet whose nerve and skill helped him survive in some of the deadliest boomtowns of the American West. Let's get into it. James H. Leavy was born in Dublin, Ireland around 1842. That much is clear. Almost everything else about his early life is not. His parents' names never appear in reliable records. Even his religion has been debated, whether he was of Jewish faith or not. But what we do know is this. He was brought to the United States as a child, likely arriving in New York between 1850 and 1852 with his Irish parents. By about 1860, Leavy ended up in California, working in Sacramento as either a miner or a bartender in the rush for gold economy. When silver was discovered in eastern Nevada, he landed in the violent little mining town of Pioche. It was there that Leavy worked underground as a miner, but fate had other plans. By the spring of 1871, Pioche, Nevada was a booming but lawless mining town, notorious for its violence and where most of the state's killings occurred. A newcomer to town by the name of Michael Casey and his partners offered to expel some armed squatters from a disputed mine in exchange for a 30-day lease on the mine. He managed to get a $60,000 loan with the lease. But trouble began when Casey quarreled with Tom Gossin over a $100 unpaid debt. The men exchanged gunfire in the street, and Casey fatally shot Gossin. It took a week for him to die, and during that time Gossin left in his estate $5,000 to serve as a bounty for anyone who would kill Casey to avenge his death. $5,000 would be about $40,000 in today's dollars, and the bounty amount was very attractive to Jim Leavy, so he decided to collect on it. Leavy confronted Casey about him shooting Gossin, but Casey tried to justify the shooting, claiming self-defense. Leavy called him a liar, and the two men exchanged insults. Casey challenged Leavy to a duel, and the two men met in a nearby alley. Leavy gunned down Casey, but Casey had a friend waiting in the shadows to shoot Leavy just in case Casey would lose the gunfight. The friend, David Neagle, shot Leavy through both cheeks, striking his jaw and leaving him permanently disfigured. Leavy was acquitted of the shooting on the grounds of self-defense, and eventually collected his reward money for killing Casey. Over the next decade, Leavy drifted all across the West. From Virginia City to Tombstone, he earned a living as a gambler and gunfighter, winning more than a dozen shootouts thereafter. Eventually, Leavy was arrested and went on trial in 1877, while in Cheyenne, Wyoming, over a dispute with a fellow gambler named Charlie Harrison. Harrison's insults turned personal, taunting Leavy's Irish heritage with the words, "I hate Irishmen." Leavy coolly challenged him to take it outside. Townsfolk packed the saloon windows, expecting the brash Harrison to prevail. But when the pistols cracked, it was Leavy who was still standing. Harrison fell in the street, mortally wounded. Leavy was found not guilty, and the duel cemented Leavy's reputation as one of the deadliest and most composed gunmen in the West. Leavy spent his final years in other mining towns, mostly in Arizona Territory. He was drawn to Tucson as it grew into a rail hub and crossroads for miners, gamblers, and drifters. Though he still earned his living at the gaming tables, his sharp tongue and reputation for violence often drew him into quarrels. A fateful dispute came to a head in the spring of 1882. One night, Leavy was ambushed in Tucson by three men with whom he had long-standing grudges. He was shot multiple times before he could draw his weapon and collapsed in the street, dying within minutes at roughly 40 years of age. Leavy's death closed the turbulent life of a man who had lived by the gun in nearly every frontier town that was known in the Old West. Where did this trail of discovery take us? From Dublin, Ireland to America's rough mining towns in the mid-1800s. James H. Leavy, an Irishman who was as much a part of the country's Old West story as any of the major gunfighters that history remembers from America's frontier. Thanks so much for watching. If you are Irish, your roots are from Ireland, or would like to be among the honorary Irish, you're at the right place. Please take a moment to like, subscribe, click on the notification bell, or even leave me a comment. Until next time, keep that Irish twinkle in your eye.